Why? Why do characters act so stupid sometimes? Oh yeah, it's because the writers write them that way. Oh, I... There are times when I just want to take a character by the collar, just smack him around a little. So this is Daredevil Season 2, Episode 7, Semper Fidelis. Um, yeah, the Marine Semper Fi. Which, makes sense because, yeah, this is a lot more about kind of Frank Castle's case and trying to build him up as a Marine who returned from the war just to enter a completely different war. That speech by Foggy was brilliant. I kind of figured that was what was going to happen. Like he was going to take a second, but as soon as he got it in his head, I knew he was going to step up because he stepped up so many times this season. I love the fact that he's getting those moments. He didn't really get much of that in the first season. In fact, there were times when I just wanted to smack him because he was acting stupid. But he didn't really have a lot of these moments like he's having in this season, where he's standing up to the DA, where he's stopping the fight in the hospital between the gang members. He's stepping up in this episode because Matt is an idiot, and so he has to step up and give the opening statement and delivers a really good one. I mean, not still problems with it, but I mean, it was still good considering he had no time to prepare for it. So anyway, the reason my opening for this review is like that is because Matt's acting like a total moron in all of this episode. I mean, beyond just the flirting with Elektra, which he keeps doing for some reason, beyond, not showing up for case, he continues to make the same decisions. Even when he gets upset that Elektra messed up his case, instead of telling her, look, I'm done, he just like, okay, I'll still help you anyway. Why? Why? Where's the thought process that makes that a good idea? Like, what? Who in their right mind would actually just keep helping? Like, I don't know. I guess the main reason this frustrates me is because it is kind of an overused storyline in shows like this where you've got the main characters living a double life and he's got friends depending on him. This storyline where he is so concerned with the part of his life that doesn't involve his friends that he actually lets his friends down time after time. And even though he lets them down, he continues to do the thing that's going to let them down later on. Like, he continues to make the same mistakes. And it happens in this episode. He knows he's making the opening statements. He knows he's talking to Elektra and says, I can't tonight. I have to do these opening statements. Meet me in whatever. All she has to do is says, meet me at this place. And he just goes and does it. No questions asked. No arguing. No telling Foggy, look, I'm dealing with something as Daredevil right now. I need you to get an opening statement ready just in case I can't make it because I'm, involved in this or whatever. None of that. She calls, asks for him. He says, no, I can't. And then he goes anyway. It's so stupid. And it's not a problem with the show itself because they're very clearly doing it on purpose. They're not doing it just because, like some shows that have characters make stupid decisions, it's like it's written in such a way that the show doesn't think it's a dumb decision. Like the show writes it as these characters are actually right in making this. This show is very clearly making it look like he is in the wrong. And it's still frustrating though. As an audience member watching this, following Matt because he is the main character and trying to root for him, this is an episode that makes me not want to root for him. This is an episode done very deliberately to make him look like a moron. And they do it very well because I end up feeling frustrated at the end of the episode. So I'm frustrated, but at the same time that makes it good. It's weird when I say it like that, but I think the best example I can think of for this is I don't know if you've watched Arrow, but I finally got caught up to the third season on Netflix recently. There are some decisions made. One of the characters is saying one thing in one episode, and then a few episodes later, she is saying something completely different. Like her opinions have changed with no indication whatsoever that she changed her mind at all. Like it happened out of the blue. And it was a stupid decision from this character, but the show treated it like she is actually right. It's treating her like she's correct in what she's saying. I'm like, no, she's not. She's completely wrong. So the opposite is true here, where they're making him make these stupid decisions, but they're showing clearly he's wrong. And I love the scene where Foggy just completely tells him off in the bathroom, because I was just like, yes, thank you, Foggy. Like, somebody had to say something to him, because he just kept acting stupid. And who knows, maybe Foggy really laying into him like that, maybe that's what it's going to take. I feel like it's going to be more Karen, though. I feel like eventually Karen's going to find out about Elektra somehow. Like, I kept expecting whenever he was taking care of Elektra in his apartment, I was expecting Karen to, like, knock on the door and be like, I heard a woman's voice in there. But they didn't do that, thankfully. But I feel like something like that's going to happen. He's going to be somewhere with Elektra. Karen's going to see it and realize that something's going on between them. And I feel like that's going to be kind of the Kickstarter for him to change his mind and realize, crap, I've been an idiot. But for right now, it's very frustrating watching him making these dumb decisions. And I'm just like, he needs to stop. I know it's the 7th episode, so there's still 6 left. So obviously he's not going to change his mind yet. I know that sounds weird to say, and it's kind of frustrating to say because I want him to stop making stupid decisions. But because they've still got some episodes left to go, we still got a good bit of time before the end happens, it's going to take him at least a little bit longer. It's going to take him longer to realize I need to change. I hope it's within the next 2 episodes, because I don't know how much more of this stupid stuff I can take. Because I really do feel bad for Karen and Foggy. I mean, they're doing their hardest. That is weird. They're trying their hardest to really get this case going, to really stick it to Reyes, to try to get her out of here, because she is clearly not a good person. She's not a bad guy, but she is not a good guy at all. I really want to see her just, I want to see her gone. And so I'm rooting for Karen and Foggy to really take the case to her, to make her pay, and Matt just keeps screwing it up because he keeps making stupid decisions. Let's see. So, I think I talked about that enough. Going to the Elektra stuff, though. One, the stuff going on with the Yakuza right now, it's kind of like, I don't know what's going on. Like, they're digging a hole, which has it's very deep, apparently. Tossed the flashlight, didn't hear it hit the ground, so very deep hole for something. This is not a good thing, obviously. But it does kind of beg the question, what's their plan? What is this hole for? Are they planning something underground? Have they been building stuff underground? So it's interesting to see where that's going. The other thing with Elektra is the whole flirting thing that goes on between them. Another reason I really want to slap Matt upside the face and be like, dude, you're an idiot. Because the thing is that he said very clearly when they started this, he's like, I've moved on. I've moved on from you. I'm on to somebody else. And yet continues to sit really close. He lets her in his house. He's just wearing underwear. She is just wearing like underwear and a tank top. And then they're sitting really close on the couch. She's letting him touch her scars. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you very clearly said that wasn't going to happen. And yet you were just letting her do whatever she wants. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of frustrated with him as far as that goes. As far as the case itself, though, it's taken a turn for the worst because they really did have a good plan. And I was just like, yeah, I like the fact that they're really coming together. They've got an idea, and then of course Elektra steps in and completely ruins it. And yeah, I don't buy this crap that she was trying to help him. I really do think she knows what she's doing. I think she's trying to ruin this friendship and this relationship between Matt, Foggy, and Karen. I think she's trying to come in between that, break it apart, and I think she knew exactly what she was doing by getting all of this testimony from this doctor dismissed. I think she knew exactly what she was doing, and I'm sure we're going to get to that point somewhere along the way. Like, whenever Karen and Foggy have finally had enough of Matt, they finally stop talking to him, and then Elektra's just going to be like, come be with me, Matt, and he's going to be like, you did all this just so like you could have me on your all to yourself. She's like, well, yeah, duh. Which, I say that, but I hope they don't do it because that would be really cliche and dumb. But at the same time, it feels like that's what they're setting up for, so we'll see where it goes. Right now, that's where it feels like it's leading to. I think that's about it for this episode. It's very interesting because these episodes are longer than a normal TV show episode is, and yet these reviews are so much more quick and concise because they really do take their time. And honestly, I like it. I like the fact that they're not just fly through it, fly through it, fly through it. Here's all this information coming at you. They take their time, they give you the information, they build up the emotions, they let you dwell on the information, they let you dwell on your emotions, they let you dwell on what's going on right now. They don't fly through the information. They don't feel like they have to throw everything at you right away. I love how the first season just kind of paced itself so well. So we didn't learn about Wilson Fisk until the third episode. We knew he was a character, but we didn't learn his name until the third episode. And even then, we didn't know what his plan was. We saw him finally, but then we started learning more about him. We started learning more about his plan. We started learning more about what Daredevil had to do to stop him. It was well paced. It was so well paced that you just got to really think about it. You got to dwell on the episode and think about the emotions that it was trying to bring. Same for this season. I'm glad I get to talk about it because it really does show that I don't have a lot to talk about because it gave information, but not as much as a usual TV show episode does. Normally it's like, here, all this information in one episode. So I really do like that about... honestly, I wish more shows would do this. I wish more shows would take their time and not try to rush through a story. Of course, if you're dealing with crime shows, it's like you have to give all this information about the case at the beginning, and then you have to find more clues. So they do have to kind of push all the information into one episode because you have to have one case in one episode. This, they're telling a story over 13 episodes. So they're able to take more liberties like that. So I'm giving a pass to shows like NCIS and Elementary, shows where they have to really condense it into one episode. But shows like Arrow and The Flash, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to some extent, although I personally think that it's paced better than the two DC shows. I do wish, if it's a running storyline, that they would try to not condense it, that they would try to spread it out a bit more, and maybe not try to throw so much information at us at one time. So anyway, that's about it for this episode. Good episode, excited to see where it goes next. It feels like this case is going to get worse before it gets better. I don't know how it's going to end, but I feel like it'll be a happy ending. Maybe. It's one of those things where they really could have it not be a happy ending because it's Marvel. It's not always a happy ending with Marvel. Sometimes things don't work out the way it should. Hence Civil War. So, yeah, excited for what's coming next. So let me know what you think. Are you excited to? Um, what did you think about this episode as far as Matt? Are you as frustrated with him as I am? Leave a like and subscribe for more Daredevil. I'll see you at the next review. Peace out.